It is hard to understand exactly why someone decides to end their own life. A lot of times, what we see on the outside doesn't even amount to the issues that one might be dealing with on the inside. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention says that suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, and in 2017, 47,173 Americans died by suicide. Although we might not see it or recognize the signs, it is happening more and more than it ever has before. In this past spring semester, my nursing course had focused a lot on mental health, with one of the weeks covering suicide and suicide prevention. One of the things that I have come to realize is that you can never ever predict if someone is about to end their own life, because most of the time they seem as if they've gotten better. And by better, I mean they seem happier. They might laugh more, they might be more friendly, but this might be because they know that their pain and suffering is about to end soon. Another thing that I had learned was that individuals might give away their possessions or make subtle comments such as, "Oh, I won't need it anymore," and to others it might just seem like they have no more use for it, but not in the way where they will no longer be with us. I'd like to give you a little insight on the famous musician Kurt Cobain's suicide and how it affected some of America. As we all know, depression can be a dark, dark hole, and it can start in childhood and spiral downwards as one gets older. As a child, we are more sensitive to situations than some may think, and that's because not every child channels their feelings the same way as others. A child may act like it doesn't affect them, and they bury it so deep down until something triggers the release of emotions. Kurt Cobain had a troubled childhood, with his parents getting a divorce when he was young, leaving him and his sister in separate homes, to fighting with his mother and stepfather, as the Biography.com editors say. As we all know, and if you don't, then you're living under a rock or something, Cobain was the lead singer of the band Nirvana. What many don't know is, as the Biography.com editors say, Cobain wanted to quit Nirvana, which was a big shock to me, actually. If you listen closely to some of the lyrics of Cobain's songs, you notice a lot of them are actually sad and depressing. Some songwriters put out music they know their audience wants to hear, but Cobain didn't do that. He put out music that he was truly feeling, and you could tell by the way he performed during live shows that he actually meant or felt what he was singing. It's clear he was dealing with more inside than what he was leading others to believe. Kurt Cobain's music was popular in teens and those in their early 20s, and it had actually started a new era of the punk grunge phase. It's always kind of nerve-wracking to find out what die-hard fans might do when they find out that their favorite star is no longer with them. When Kurt Cobain had committed suicide, the Catholic University of America's Psychology Department professors Jobs, Berman, O'Carroll, Eastgard, and Nickmeyer said that the Seattle community was scared that the community would have copycat suicides, and they acted quickly to prevent that. They also say that, possibly due to the Seattle community's great effort in prevention, with crisis centers' overviews of Cobain's life and community-based interventions, there were no copycat suicides following Cobain's death, which may be partly due to the method that Cobain had used. For some individuals, it had inspired them to seek their inner talent and become who they really wanted to be. For one particular individual, it did, and her name is Jackie Bischoff, and she had stated, "It wasn't just the lead singer of Nirvana's untimely death that inspired me, but it was also his performance of life." Bischoff's feelings about the band and their performance had moved her enough to discover what she loved to do, and that had led her to her future career, which led her to a few places in the United States and eventually to Europe. We are the ones who decide what we are going to do with a situation we are put in, and the ones that decide what we do next with our lives. It is either we take the situation no matter what it is and we grow from it, or we sulk in our sorrows until the end of time. Kurt Cobain's suicide had saddened a lot, but had also inspired some to seek more in life. As I mentioned earlier, there's no way to exactly know if someone will end their life, but I hope that some of the information that I had presented will encourage you to take a little extra time, because it might only take 5 minutes to save someone's life.